My dad went and got married in my place, all because the Empress handed down a royal decree ordering our family to marry someone off to her spoiled nephew. My dad, pushing 40, didn't even hesitate. He clenched his jaw, stomped his foot, and snatched the red veil right out of me and my sister's hands. Back home, me and my sister were absolutely floored, but deep down we understood. Dad wasn't just doing this for us. He was trying to protect the whole family. See, my dad was a top court official who just pulled off a major achievement. And every prince in the capital wanted a piece of him. Somehow, one of the key moves in court politics was to marry into the right family. So the Empress set her sights on me and my sister. She issued a decree. One of us had to marry her nephew. My dad had just gotten back to the capital and had no clue what was going on, so he started asking around about this so-called groom. And the moment he found out, that was it. All hope was gone. The Empress's nephew? A complete train wreck. Gambling, drinking, you name it. He'd beaten girls to death at brothels, wasn't even married yet, and already had a 3-year-old kid at home. Bottom line, any girl who married into that family was signing up for a life of misery. Meanwhile, back at our house, my sister had someone she loved. Both families had already agreed on it, and the guy was coming over to formally propose in just a couple of weeks. I had my own dream guy in mind too. Didn't know exactly who yet, but I'd already written up my checklist and was counting on Mom and Dad to go find the right match. But now, because of this one royal decree, like it or not, someone had to get married. Mom pulled out the red veil and set it down between me and my sister. This was sent by Her Majesty the Empress. My sister's eyes went red. She reached out and touched the beautiful veil, her fingers trembling, and finally grabbed hold of it. Yo, Air, you're still young. I'm the older sister, and if anyone's getting married first, it should be me. I knew. The day the decree came down, my future brother-in-law had rushed over with his mom in a total panic. My sister talked with him for a long time, and in the end he just left, without doing anything. But everyone's eyes were red when he walked out. I knew too. Marrying someone like that was basically throwing your whole life away. If that's how it is, then I might as well be the one to go. At least my sister gets to be happy. So I reached out and grabbed the other end of the veil. Sis, you've got someone you love. This one's on me. Who I marry, does it really matter? Me and my sister were at a total standstill, and Mom just kept wiping her tears over and over. She couldn't bear to give either of us up. Couldn't get a single word out to take anyone's side. Just as the veil was getting stretched out of shape from all the tugging, my dad, who'd been bedridden for half a month from the stress, dragged himself up. Enough, I'll be the one to marry. We were so shocked we both let go. The veil floated right down into Dad's hands. The bright red veil and the gleaming gold embroidery made his skin look even more porcelain white. Dad looked up and gave us three a smile, his eyes full of a sadness you just couldn't shake. Fragile, a little broken, and somehow absolutely stunning. Back in the day, my dad placed third in the imperial exams, in his 20s, peak of his life, with that perfect balance of youthful energy and refined grace. The year he rode through the streets after results day, the first and second place guys combined didn't get as many love tokens thrown at them as my dad. Sure, years of paperwork had worn him down a bit, but that just gave him a kind of wistful, melancholy charm. Honestly, he had even more vibe now than before. Dad gave this sad, broken little smile and said, "Truth be told, Juan Juan and Nianian technically don't have to be my kids. Juan Juan is my sister, I'm Nianian." My jaw dropped. Wait, me and my sister aren't Dad's kids? So then, Mom? I turned and looked at her, and the judgment in my eyes was very, very real. Dad is this good-looking and this accomplished. How did you manage to go find someone else and have two gorgeous daughters like me and my sister? Whoever our real dad is must have been insanely attractive, enough to make you ditch this man completely. Where's your moral compass? Where's your loyalty? And more importantly, where's the portrait? Mom stopped crying. A mother always knows her kids. One look at our faces and she knew exactly what kind of nonsense we were thinking. Mom tightened her grip on her handkerchief. But right now, the most urgent thing was still the marriage and the Empress's decree. She wasn't going to explain the other stuff right now. Is this even allowed? This is defying a royal order. Dad let out a cold laugh, and for a moment you could see the authority he usually kept hidden. Isn't this exactly what they want? They're after me. Why put my daughters through that? Wouldn't it just be easier if I went myself? When Dad put it that way, honestly, the three of us couldn't argue with that logic. So the next day, Dad threw on his official robes, put the veil over his head, and got into the wedding sedan. It's not like there was no bridal gown. It's just that even though Dad was slim, he was still a grown man, and couldn't fit into the standard one-size bridal dress. I looked at Mom through teary eyes. Is Stepdad still going to send his paycheck home after this? They say wherever there's love, there's money too. Sure, Stepdad's love was kind of small, but everything he gave me and my sister was everything he had. Mom smacked me. What do you mean, Stepdad? That's your dad. You've only got one dad. Mom started telling us the story of her and Dad. Dad used to be the broke son of a broke scholar. Great looking, great at studying, full of potential, but totally broke. Mom used to come from money, but her grandparents had both passed away, and a bunch of cousins and distant relatives were already circling like vultures. So Mom went to Dad, they hit it off right away, Dad moved into her family home, and they got married. Mom funded Dad's studies, and Dad helped Mom fight off all those scheming relatives. A few good years later, Dad passed the provincial exams and was planning to head to the capital to push for the next level. Mom had taken over the family business her grandparents left behind. She was loaded, and was fully ready to kick back and do absolutely nothing. Chill mode Mom looked at go-getter Dad and thought, maybe it's time for them to go their separate ways. But Dad didn't want that. Mom just felt like she couldn't keep up with him. She was insecure. They went back and forth for over a year and ended up back together anyway. So what does any of that have to do with you finding someone else? Look, I'm just saying, personally, I don't have a problem with it, but I will absolutely still judge you out loud. Mom smacked me again. Chu Union, I'm the head of household. You're registered under my name. Legally speaking, you and Yu Huan are only my daughters. You have nothing to do with Yu Fengdeng. He's on his own out there. Even if his entire household got raided, it doesn't mean they'd come after us, you understand? I nodded, and just like that, everything clicked. Dad is dad, mom is mom, and my sister is my sister. But the four of us? We're not the same family on paper. The decree just said someone from the Yu household had to get married, but the Yu household only has one person in it. So who else is gonna do it? We've been in each other's lives for so long, we can't exactly walk him down the aisle as family, but we can at least show up and watch. Mom finished saying that, waved her handkerchief, and led me and my sister out the door. The wedding procession wound around in a big loop, and by the time we got there, the sedan had just pulled up too. The bride's face was smiling, but that smile was a little stiff and a little off. Well, yeah. Who's ever heard of a bride being a 40-year-old man and a sitting government official? Honestly, that guy hit the jackpot. My dad still got it, this is his first time getting married, and he's a high-ranking official on top of that. He was the head of the Imperial Academy. In one shot, this kid not only sorted out his marriage, he also got a live-in tutor, totally cutting out private school fees. And on top of all that, my dad's entire salary is now going straight to his household. Just thinking about it, I shed a single tear of grief. But that mood got cut off real fast by a huge wave of cheering from the crowd. Look, the bride's getting out of the sedan.